And welcome back to CBS Sports HQ. Amanda Guerra, Jamie Eisenberg with you here in Tampa. A little chilly. The weather is going to get better, we promise, as we move forward throughout the week. And if there's a guy who knows what it takes to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, it would be our good friend here at HQ, Darren Waller, with the Raiders. Darren, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you guys for having me.
All right, before we get in to the Super Bowl and everything like that, I want to talk about you for a second. First-time Pro Bowler, congratulations. And just the past two seasons, I mean, you have been on fire. You are only trailing Travis Kelce among tight ends in receptions and receiving yards. What have the past two seasons been like for you? What has been the key, and is this just maybe the beginning for you?
The last 2 years, definitely a lot of hard work for sure. A lot of extra time spent on small details, just improving my mindset, and how I prepare for games, how I take care of my body. So just a lot of growth, put myself in uncomfortable situations, uncomfortable positions, and that's what's really allowed me to grow and step outside my comfort zone and just try to do some great things. And now it's all about consistency for me.
Darren, I want to kind of follow up on that, based on the success you've had the last 2 years. When you look at the Raiders offense, the receiving core is developing, but there isn't really a standout number one, number two wide receiver yet, a guy that's going to command targets. You are the guy in this passing game. And how much does that benefit you as the tight end to command the target, to command the attention of your quarterback, and to be able to be the focal point of this passing attack?
It's definitely a great position to be in, but it requires a lot of me. It requires me to know, every position on the field and run a concept from any position. It requires me to, not get frustrated when, I may be receiving a lot of attention, things like that, and just, stay focused on, doing what I got to do and knowing that that will, in the end, separate me and allow me to make plays for the team. But, it's a great position to be in. I have a lot of respect for being a guy that this team wants to go to make things happen. And I try to prepare in order to do so.
Darren, as I mentioned, you guys are one of the only teams that have been able to beat the Chiefs in recent memory there back in week 5. I'm sure the Bucs are going to be looking at that tape, trying to figure out what the key was. So what is the key, do you think, to beating the Kansas City Chiefs?
You got to be on point in everything. I think that goes without being said. In the game where we beat them, we had explosive pass plays, a few of which were in short yardage situations where they like to, play this double team bracket coverage where they leave the middle of the field open. And so these was 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 situations where most teams were running the ball, but we were, ultra aggressive in those situations. So explosive plays on offense to match Kansas City. Defense, you got to turn the ball over and you got to be able to press the pocket. And I believe Tampa has the defensive talent and personnel to do just that. So it takes everybody playing at a great level.
Darren, when you look at Travis Kelce and just the things that he's accomplished, and obviously had a chance to lead the league in receiving this year, maybe had he played Week 17, just, from one tight end to the other, just the respect I'm sure you have for Kelce, the time that he's done it year over year, just been a fantastic player at that position. Just what do you take watching him play, and how do you think he'll perform in this game against the Bucs?
The thing I noticed about him the most is that he's never in a hurry. He's fast. He got a good stride about him, but you never see him playing outside of a pace that he wants to play at, and it kind of drives defenders crazy because it's not like a ultra speed, like a Tyreek Hill kind of game. It's just like him doing his thing, and he's so smooth in and out of routes. He's so smooth with his moves where he transitions after the catch. And it's just amazing to watch. Really, I love the way he uses his head and eyes and just sells things to certain defenders and has them kind of flopping all over the place. Man, he's really mastered it.
Darren, you guys played both the Chiefs and the Bucs so far this season, so you've gone up against both of these defenses. What were some of the toughest matchups with either one of these defenses, and which one do you think is better?
So with Tampa Bay, I mean, they present a lot of problems. In my opinion, as far as pass protection, I feel like Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett was one of the, toughest days for me, like pass protecting. I feel like I did a good job, but I mean, they made me work all day. I feel like their pass rush is incredible. their linebacker tandem, just the way they run sideline to sideline and are able to tackle. And their young safeties are flying all over the place as well. So they're just loaded top to bottom. The thing about Kansas City, they just get better as the year goes on. Last year and this year as well, they're better against the run. Their safeties, Sorensen and Tyrann Mathieu, and you got Snead out there who started playing after we played them a couple times. So they've got guys everywhere that are always continue to improve as the season goes along, better than anyone that I see in the league.
Darren, you may have heard, I don't know if you've been paying attention or not, but this game's going to be a lot about the quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. When you watch these two guys play, you've seen Patrick up close, you've seen Tom up close, like Amanda alluded to, playing these two teams. Just talk about those two guys and what they mean to the league and what they mean to this game.
I mean, there is two of the faces, and it's one face, transitioning into the other. Tom Brady goes without saying with his pedigree. And Patrick Mahomes, all things that he's done, and he's like 25 years old, are just mind-blowing. So just to see them two go at it, with Tom being in the NFC now, is just going to be an epic game. Without these two guys, who knows what the game would be. So it's just awesome to see them compete against each other.
Darren, I want to go back to your team, the Raiders, because through a large majority of the season, we thought you guys were headed the postseason. And the second half, something just kind of changed. I mean, you guys were 6-3, then you ended up going 2-5 to finish it out. So you guys ended up at 500. What's going on in the second half of the season that you think you guys may need to tweak next season?
I think it comes down to just the small details of the game and how you go about preparing, how we go about adjusting and dealing with challenges during the season. Because during that time, that's where teams separate themselves, because you're not always feeling as great. You may have a tough stretch where you go play in the cold a few weeks in a row like we have the last couple of seasons. And, there are a lot of things you can make excuses over, like injuries and things like that. But the best teams find ways to overcome that by any means. And we haven't found a way to do that in the last couple of years, and we've got to be able to do that with our play on the field, number one. And, that's just the facts.
Darren, we've already seen one quarterback change for two teams, actually, with Detroit and the Rams and the trade they made. Obviously, a lot's going to be made about Derek Carr. Is he still the long-term answer for the Raiders? Where do you stand on just your quarterback and how he's going to handle this offseason? Do you think he's going to be back with the Raiders in 2021? Just your thoughts on Derek Carr and his performance in 2020 and the future for him with the Raiders.
I'm a Derek Carr guy, so I was very impressed with the way that he played this past season, just his overall efficiency and his command of this team and how he led us. And going into this offseason, I know where his mind is at. He's not focused on the noise and the what ifs. He's just focused on what he can control, and that's, continuing on his fundamentals, continuing to take care of his body and his mind the way that he has over his career. And, just let all the results play out, because he gives it his all. And as long as you give it your all, you can live with the results. So I'm cool with Derek being my guy.
All right, Darren, we're here in Tampa, of course, for the Super Bowl. You've seen these teams up close. Give us your prediction. Who wins Super Bowl 55? And while you're at it, maybe throw in an MVP in there, too.
I'm going to go Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm going to go Devin White as Super Bowl MVP.
Well, that sounds like a different MVP from the ones that we've heard. Darren, obviously you're involved with your music and continuing to put out great stuff. Tell us where we can check you out and hear some of the things that you're working on.
Yeah, I got new music coming. I got a podcast coming out called Comeback Stories, and I recorded and produced the theme song for that. That'll be coming out Friday. The podcast launches on Thursday. I'll be having a new project by April, just in the mixing stages now. I'll be dropping a new video on Thursday as well for the song Sun in My Eyes. So I'm staying pretty busy with it, and just trying to keep growing.
A man of many talents. Darren Waller, thanks so much. We're going to check that out because Jamie and I are not cool, and I feel like listening to this music would make us much cooler. Darren Waller, thank you so much for joining us here on HQ. Enjoy the offseason.
All right. Thank you guys for having me.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.